very, very warm and special welcome to all of you, our valued first-year students that are joining in on this morning's orientation exercise. I'm Jarrell Alda from the Division of Student Services and Development, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to our campus's first-year experience program, otherwise known as FYE. So we are truly, truly happy and honored that you have made the UWI St. Augustine campus your choice. And through the FYE program, of course, we are committed to ensuring that you transition seamlessly to your first day of study and that you become fully integrated into our campus community and your new home at the UWI St. Augustine. So this morning, students, is particularly important and exciting as the campus welcomes all of you to your new student orientation at the Faculty of Engineering. If you are excited as we are, we want you to turn to your the comments, the chat section, and let us know that you're excited to be part of the Faculty of Engineering, because we certainly are. So it is my absolute pleasure to invite and introduce you at this time to Dean of the Faculty of Engineering, Professor Edwin Ekwe, who will guide you through this morning's orientation program. Over to you, Prof.
Okay, thanks a lot, the moderator, Mr. Alda, and colleagues, students, and members of staff. We say welcome to this orientation program, and I'm here welcoming our students in particular, and we're here to start by giving them a short presentation from the Dean, and then the Deputy Dean will come in, and the ESS President and the other people from DSSD will also address you. Please try and enjoy this morning's presentation. Okay, first of all, my name is Edwin Ikenna Ekwe. I'm the Dean, Faculty of Engineering. I need to start telling you that, first of all, that being admitted into our university, that you are actually a member of a very large university, University of the West Indies. Okay, the University of the West Indies has 5 different campuses. Our own campus is St. Augustine campus. And in our campus, we have 8 different faculties. And our own faculty is Faculty of Engineering. And under Faculty of Engineering, we have 5 different departments, okay? And another thing I have mentioned here is that the University of West Indies is highly rated, okay? Of course, it's the best in the Caribbean region, and it's also raised among the top best universities in the world. As I mentioned, we have 5 heads of department, 5 departments, and each of them has a head of department. So for you students, these are the people you are going to be meeting most of the time. These are the people you are going to be communicating if you have problems, okay? We have Professor Rafi Hussein, Head of Chemical Engineering, Dr. Festus Olutoge, Head of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Dr. Sanjay Bahadur Singh, the Head of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Dr. Michael Sunderland, Department of Geomatics Engineering and Land Management. And then Dr. Jacqueline Bridge, Head of Department of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. Apart from the heads of departments, we also have our deputy deans who make sure that everything goes on very well in the Faculty of Engineering, making sure that you are well looked after. The colleague that will be speaking after me is Dr. Sheris Griffith Charles, who is the Deputy Dean on the Graduate Student Affairs. And then you have Professor Bopana Chowdhury, he's the Deputy Dean in charge of Research and Postgraduate Student Matters. And then you have Dr. Abraham Washa, who is in charge of Facilities, and then Dr. Chakrabarti, who is in charge of Enterprise and Outreach. Why did you choose the University of West Indies? And why did you consider Faculty of Engineering? Okay. First of all, what is engineering? Engineering is nothing but the discipline and arts and profession that deals with the process of utilizing knowledge, okay, to build the principles and analyze objects. And at the end of the day, it has different branches. Okay, different branches, the ones we have in our university are the departments of civil, chemical, electrical, geomatics, and mechanical, just like I've mentioned earlier. And then another thing you will know about engineering is that engineering is very broad. So you can see a lot of diagrams. You can see gears meshing, you can see people reading maps, you can see people plotting, all the various aspects, getting levels and all that, okay? So engineering is very broad. You have entered a very broad profession. Okay, I have more questions for you. Do you have a curious mind? Do you have a passion for knowledge, new knowledge? Do you think that things can be made bigger, better, faster, and stronger? Can you innovate? Do you have an entrepreneurial mind? If your answer is yes to all these questions I posed, then you have made a very wise choice, you know, and you have chosen the correct profession, which is engineering at UWI. Okay, and what you should also understand is that there are different types of engineers. You can, when you graduate, you can be a professional engineer, you can be a chartered engineer, and all the other related engineering careers, okay, which you can be engaged in. Then another thing is, how are you going to carry out this? Just bear in mind that wherever there is a will, there is a way. And we are the Faculty of Engineering would like to build an inclusive, diverse, and responsible community. And we are here to continually seek creative ways to solve problems of humanity. So we are the Faculty of Engineering. Of course, we are the premier university in the English-speaking Caribbean region. And all our undergraduate and most of our postgraduate programs are internationally accredited. And our university presents a fascinating life ahead for you. Okay, there is a vast array of courses which you can be enrolled in. There are abundant student societies that you will join, and there are a lot of activities that will await you by the time you are a student, fully a student in this our university. I'm aware that some of you are pre-engineering students, and some of you are here to start your first year. Okay, so to a freshman or a woman like you, everything will be new, everything will be interesting. Some of you may feel very excited, and some of you may feel very overwhelmed. Okay, but better please plan for the year ahead, plan ahead. Okay, and better still, spend some time to set your goals and spend some time to plan for the coming years. Think about what you want to achieve in these few years you're going to be here. After all, you're going to be here for 3 or 4 years, and 3 or 4 years in your life will really be very short. Okay? So set your goals very high and never underestimate your capability. And wherever there is a will, there is a way. So we are the Faculty of Engineering. We are committed to the holistic development of the students with a keen sense of being an engineer. And in addition to that, we are also looking at the 21st century skills of teamwork, okay, communication, global awareness, leadership, entrepreneurship, and creativity. So these are some of the various rigorous aspects that we want you to imbibe by the time you have graduated from here. So it's not only the rigorous technical education, but also the 21st century skills that you require, okay? Very good, to survive in this new environment. Please also make sure whatever you are doing, don't forget your health requirements, hygiene requirements, because of the pandemic we are in now. Make sure you maintain this 2-meter physical distancing. Wash your hands and sanitize very thoroughly. Always wear a face mask. Stay at home when you are sick. And please don't touch your face and nose as much as possible. And above all, make sure that you are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. So during this pandemic period, Teaching will be offered mainly via the online modality, and lectures and tutorials will also be offered virtually online. Some labs, practical classes will be face-to-face, but we are going to make sure that we observe the relevant COVID protocols, okay, all the time. And your various departments will provide details of this to you, okay? The provision of face-to-face classes will resume when all clear is received from the government and the campus authorities. But I need to also inform you that some exams could be face-to-face, but you will be fully informed. So the question is, what is the vision of our faculty? Okay, our vision is to be a world-class engineering facility where most or all our all our programs will be internationally accredited. That we also hope to have very well-equipped laboratories. We have competent lecturers and researchers who publish their scholarly work. We're also aiming at having responsible leadership, accountable to students, parents, governments, and all the stakeholders. Okay? We are, of course, always fighting or always striving to engage in robust quality assurance system. And we have a well-structured safety system. So the Faculty of Engineering is a very large one. A lot of buildings, 13 buildings. In the block 1 is where you have the Dean's Office, the Department of Electrical Engineering, and you also have Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering departments. Block 2 is where you have your Civil Engineering department. Block 10 is where you have Geomatics Engineering and Land Management. Block 13 is where you have the Chemical Engineering. So all our departments are well housed, and then you have the various labs. So by the time you start your labs and all that, you'll be able to familiarize yourself with the Faculty of Engineering. And the good thing again is that the main library is very close by, okay? So that will assist you, okay, in your research and other aspects. We have 10 undergraduate programs in the faculty, and with time you're going to be familiar with all of them. So there are 10 different undergraduate programs. And all our programs, all our undergraduate programs, and most of our postgraduate programs are well accredited by international organizations from UK, Institution of Chemical Engineers, okay? Then you also have the Institution of Mechanical Engineers and the Chartered Institute of Civil Engineering Surveyors, okay, and the Joint Board of Moderators, okay? So all our undergraduate programs are internationally accredited, and most of the postgraduate ones, which you see listed here, are also accredited. And then, in addition to our BSc programs, we have a lot of master's programs, many of them. So I'm not here to give you a lot of advice, okay? And the first advice I will give you is that you need to read your faculty undergraduate booklet very well, okay? And it looks like this. You can download it online, okay? You can download it and read it. It contains all the information you require, all your courses, all the syllabus, okay? All the aspects that you require is in this booklet. So please try and download it and read it properly, okay? And another thing I also need to advise you is that good time management is very important, and be self-motivated, but that will lead you to success, okay? Although participating in student and college activities is a good experience, please use your time wisely. Strike a balance between studying and socializing. Do not spend too much time in those activities and neglect your studies, okay? It is perhaps tempting to enjoy the moment and have fun with your friends rather than working hard on your studies. But if you work smart enough, you will find that engineering is much I mean, it's more interesting than even your social activities. So the point that is being made here is that make sure you balance your social activities with your work itself so that none of them will suffer. Okay? More importantly, success does not come without hard work. And the few years you stay in university will go over very quickly. Okay? So if you don't want to end up being a mediocre, please study very hard. Okay? And if you want to have a fruitful university life, study hard. If you want to have a rewarding career, please study hard. Although our engineering programs are challenging, they are also very rewarding at the same time. Okay, you can make a world of difference with your engineering skills. The 21st century has posed a lot of challenges. However, before you can solve these challenges, it is important to build a strong understanding of all the fundamentals in your engineering courses. Do not just memorize your lecture notes. Be very serious at class and ask more critical questions. Our lecturers aim at inspiring you to think and find the solutions by yourselves instead of just bombarding you with textbook materials. Please do ask them questions when you don't understand any of your lecture materials. Your lecturers are here to help. Besides learning your fundamentals of engineering, also do more applied courses, undergraduate projects, and research. These will train you to be innovative and independent. Okay, the faculty has a summer internship program after your second year, so please take advantage of it. The faculty also has engineering entrepreneurship course in the third year, so please take it up if you can. Make use of the elective courses in the faculty in order to build your experience and knowledge. Okay? Hard work bears fruits, and those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Do not give up easily when you find the courses being difficult. Okay, some of you got in here with very good entrance grades in secondary school, whereas some of you may not. But entrance grade is not really very important. You are here to make a fresh start. Okay, when you run into problems, make sure you get proper help as soon as possible. Consult your lecturers if you have a problem. If lecturers cannot help you, depending on the matter again, consult your administrative assistants. Every department has an administrative assistant. Then you have your heads of departments. I've shown you the pictures of them. You have your deputy dean, okay? Particularly for undergraduate students, you'll be dealing with the deputy dean on the graduate studies. Then you have your dean, is myself. Okay, if I cannot deal with your problem, then go to the deputy principal. Then you have the principal, you have the vice chancellor, you also have the chancellor, and you even now have the visitor, who is the final arbiter. Okay, if anything goes wrong, you have people you can run to. I hope that you will graduate with flying colors and become an engineer with deep and broad knowledge, full of innovation and entrepreneurial spirit. Good luck, and may God bless you all. Okay? Very good. Thanks a lot for listening to me. Okay? So I now call on the Deputy Dean of the Graduate Student Affairs, Dr. Serish Griffith-Charles, to please give you an address. Dr. Serish Griffith-Charles.
Thank you very much, Dean, for your introduction and your very comprehensive overview of what is required of the students, your incoming students. I will just reiterate some of the what you have already covered, what the Dean has already covered. But I want to first welcome you, or continue the welcome, to all of you incoming students. I welcome you, as the Dean said, as the Deputy Dean, Undergraduate Student Affairs, and I am part, as was said, of the support system for you. But I want to reiterate that we are a support system, and we can only support. A lot of the responsibility is on you to be able to progress, to mature, to approach your graduation with flying colors. As was said, universities create new knowledge, and you're here because you want to be part of that creation of new knowledge in the areas of engineering. But I want to reiterate that the new knowledge could be scientific, technological, social, political, economic, environmental, and more in today's society, we understand that most knowledge has to be interdisciplinary. So even though you may have a talent and you may have something that you like, an area of focus in engineering, you have to also be aware of how that focus, that area of engineering impacts on other areas and how other areas impact on your focus. So you have to have a interdisciplinary understanding of everything. And that means you have to read broadly and you have to understand widely. But you are here because you want to be part of that creating new knowledge. And we are here, as I said, to support you in your quest. So most of the work depends on you. More and more now, especially now in all this pandemic, we recognize that education is a privilege. And even without the pandemic, we see governments falling in other parts of the world. We see economic challenges in other parts of the world. And we recognize that there are a lot of people who are losing the opportunity to be educated. And you first have to therefore be very grateful for that privilege that has been afforded you. You now have an opportunity to learn, an opportunity for certification, but most of all, an opportunity to contribute to your society. So keep that in focus. You are here to be educated. Yes, it is for you. That is a selfish part of it, but you're also here to contribute to your society as a whole, your society, your region, your world. And more people will depend on you to be innovators, to be leaders, to take the world out of its significant challenges facing it and continuing to face the world as we go on. And as you look at that issue or look at all those challenges, we want you to be successful, because when you are successful, we are successful. We are supportive. We are supporting you in your success, but it also reflects on the faculty and on the university that we are successful as well. And as was stated by the dean, you have to drill down into the knowledge of concepts and principles, fundamental concepts and principles. Even though in some parts of your previous schooling, you may have had some rote learning and some memorization, now is the time when you begin afresh to, if you need to become innovators, you have to break apart all the knowledge, all the memorization, and understand, comprehend the fundamental aspects and theories in your discipline. And that requires a lot of reading, as I said. So you are here to read for a degree, and not everyone likes a lot of reading, and even more you're challenged to read widely, especially because everything is interdisciplinary. You'll be reading things within your focus and reading things outside of your focus, but it allows you to be able to innovate if you understand a lot of the impacting theories. So you're required to become a critical thinker. And now that we're bombarded with all of these supposed theories, these supposed opinions from other areas in your social media, whatever is your preferred social medium, you have to ask, we're not saying don't read it, but when you read it with a critical mind. Why is this person presenting this point of view? what is the importance of this point of view? And even more critically, ask why not? Because that's how you innovate. You might see points of view, perspectives, theories, but you have to question, why not this other way? And that is where innovation comes in. You bring in a new point of view, a new perspective. So try to read. And we've spoken about some of the things that you have to read, the regulations. So there's lots of regulations, even assessment regulations, the engineering regulations, the syllabuses, pre-engineering regulations and syllabuses. But you also have a lot of other university policies on students, what the student is required to do, policies on sexual harassment, all other types of policies on consumption of alcohol, a lot of reading. And you have to not necessarily learn it or commit it to memory, but at least take a broad overview of everything. So if an issue arises, you know where you need to go and look to get some more information that will address your particular issue. Right, so read through your regulations. Don't commit it to memory, but see if something arises where you can go to get more pertinent information. And this is our contract of engagement, all of these regulations, all of these policies. So you're committing to it by becoming registered here. And if anything happens, you will have to realize that you've committed to something by registering. And more importantly, we are trying to create a graduate that is ethical, a graduate that is professional, and you have to ensure that whatever you do, you don't mind it being part of your reputation. So at all times, make sure that you don't get yourself involved in cheating, collusion, plagiarism, or anything unethical or unprofessional. You're going out there to be a professional. So yes, you may falter. You may not recognize when you've made an error, but when we enforce the regulations, it can impact on your reputation right through your career because it's going to put a mark on your character. So always question what you're doing to ensure that it is ethical and professional. You have a lot to do. Now you have to register, well, after you do your academic advising within your department, within your program. So look at all of the requirements, look at all of the deadlines, and ensure that you fulfill all the requirements when and where you're supposed to. So you can select courses via the web or elsewhere. Not everything needs your physical presence on campus, and things may change. You may get an opportunity to come on campus to have face-to-face classes, but a lot of things can be done online. Your registration period begins on Monday, but it goes to October the 1st. But that doesn't mean if you have a deadline that you need to wait until the end or the deadline date itself to try to begin doing what you need to do. Your registration allows you access to a lot of the data, so do everything as early as possible to ensure that you have access, that you can get on with your studies. And again, it is your responsibility. We provide the support, we provide the rules and the regulations, we provide the deadlines, but it is up to you to actually perform the task and to ensure that it has been completed. You may come to me, come to your department, go to the dean or any of the support system that the dean outlined to have your requests addressed. But you would need to do that and ensure that it is completed. So we are here to support your growth in responsibility, maturity, and critical thinking. Right, so part of your registration will be registering in SO1 section of courses. You will be subject to GPA regulations, which means you have to attain a 50% pass mark. You have a minimum semester GPA of 2.2 to remain in good standing, but you're not going to be aiming for those borderline, as the dean said, mediocre type of locate positions or status. You, of course, should be aiming for 100%. And you, of course, trying to aim for a GPA of 4. And so that if you slip, because things might happen, we've seen over the last couple of years, things suddenly happen, there are emergencies, and you may not be able to attain the 100% you're set out to attain, or the 4.2 that you set out to attain. So if you slightly slip, you're still well within what is required. And I mentioned the deadline dates. You have lots of deadline dates, and I want you to go and look for those deadline dates, but also revisit the deadline dates. It's on the website. Revisit, because things might change as we go along. Deadlines might be extended, but deadlines maybe become more restricted. So always keep checking, keep checking. I'm sure you have heard of your registration procedure before during your first year experience program. And it's a short 7-step process to be registered. Get your registration information, register for GATE, but only those who wish to access GATE, not everyone, and not all Trinidad and Tobago nationals, because GATE has restrictive rules. And so only if you want to access GATE, then you will register for GATE e-service ID. So check the rules before you try to access GATE. Do your academic advising, and academic advising is essential. When you go to your program, you go to your academic advisor, insist on that one-on-one academic advising, because you may have a particular issue that is unique to you and you want to have it addressed. It is an important step in ensuring that you progress in the way that you need to progress. Go to your academic advising. They will tell you what you need to do, but also address if you have any particular unique issues that are pertinent to you. Select your courses online. Now you have to enroll in fee pay and obtain financial clearance. So make sure you do that to get your full financial clearance so that you can access the resources. Get your UEID, your smart card, and as I said, keep on ensuring that you maintain your financial clearance by sticking to your deadlines for payment, so that you keep checking that everything remains the same. So take responsibility for your life, Be conscious of all your responsibilities. Manage your time well, minimize your distractions, but recognize and appreciate the opportunity that you are blessed with. It's a 3-year commitment to have a degree. For the certificate persons, it's a 1-year commitment to ensure that you do well enough to enter the 3-year commitment. Every person would have had a time when they were young and a baby, but they have grown and matured. Take up the challenge and go ahead and ensure that you achieve what you can to the best of your ability. We're looking at your holistic development, so not only your academic life, your medical, psychological and emotional, your financial health, and check to ensure that if you have an issue in any one of these areas, that you address it very early on we are a support system. You may still need to ensure you might have signed up for one particular area of engineering, but we have resources on campus that will give you a career assessment so that you can see where you are best placed. We don't know where you will end up. There are persons before you who have graduated in one area of engineering and have gone on to another area of engineering or gone on to a different profession entirely. The world is wide open for you, but there are sessions when you can sign up to see your best fit to a particular career. And your final thoughts, make sure that you use only your official UE email address when you're communicating with the faculty, communicating with UE. If you have a problem that you need addressing, use your official email address. Not only because you may have some kind of private email address that does not do very well for your reputation, but also because we have had instances where people have used your name, created a fake Hotmail address with your name, and then gone on to do some kind of cheating, represented themselves as a particular student. So in order to protect you, ensure that you use your official email address. Communicate in standard UK English with accepted official protocols. When you're writing the simplest of emails, you are going to be a professional. So have a professional looking email when you are requesting any type of help. And as was said, when you're accessing the campus, follow all health and safety protocols. But beyond that, enjoy your time here fully. Make use of the entire opportunity that you have presented to you. And again, welcome. And I now turn you back over to the Dean.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Griffith Charles, for explaining to our students the major aspects. Okay, you have emphasized the need for them to read their regulations. Okay, and to also examine the policies of the university. You have advised our students that they shouldn't cheat, they shouldn't collude, they shouldn't plagiarize. All these things are very important. Okay, you have also explained to them the process of registration, which starts next week, and there are 7 steps. So please don't wait the last moment to start registering, because there are a lot of things you need to cover before the lectures actually start in 2.5 weeks' time. Okay, so thanks a lot, Deputy Dean, for that. And now we need to listen to the President of the Engineering Student Society, Ms. Chelsea Best. She is also the guild representative of the Faculty of Engineering. So she'll be here to always guide you when you have a specific problem that the Engineering Society can solve. And her name is Ms. Chelsea Best. Ms. Chelsea Best, please come in.
Thank you, Professor Eckley. Thank you again, Dean, Deputy Dean, members of staff, newly accepted Year 1 students, good morning. This morning, I'll be presenting on behalf of the Engineering Student Society, whose motto for this academic year is One Faculty, One People. My presentation will give you a brief synopsis of the initiatives for this academic year and give you an understanding of what exactly the Engineering Student Society is and what we do. Once again, my name is Chelsea Best. I am the 2021-2022 Faculty of Engineering representative. I am also the Engineering Student Society president, and of course, a final year electrical and computer engineering student. The Engineering Student Society, also known as the ESS, is here to improve, enhance, and advance the programs within this faculty. We are here to represent you, the students, on the Guild Council, as well as on the faculty board. We aim to promote and foster a good relationship with our members and the industry while promoting maximum participation in initiatives presented by the Guild Council and initiatives that are here to advance your extracurricular activities. We're also here to perform any other functions that the Engineering Student Society or the Guild Council sees fit. You may ask yourself, how do I become a member of the Engineering Student Society? Well, as a fully matriculated engineering student, you are automatically an Engineering Student Society member. Therefore, you are entitled to come to any initiatives presented by the Engineering Student Society and participate as you see fit. The team. The Engineering Student Society Committee is comprised of 11 elected members, 6 is executive members, as well as 5 department representatives. The way this works is information is either shared by the faculty, deans, the university, or the guild sent through me, where I will now disperse this information with the department reps, who all have department chats that comprise of all class representatives. These class representatives must then share this information with you, the students. The executive members are in charge of all initiatives that we do plan, and they are here to share, of course, all of our information on our social media pages, which I will share with you at a later time. Our initiatives for this academic year, starting with mental health. This is an annual initiative that we normally have in the month of mental health, but given the fact that we are online and people are suffering mentally, in my opinion, this is going to be a year-long initiative where we will be inviting counselors and experienced people experiencing mental health, just to share their opinions and their knowledge with you, to help you, of course, be better equipped for this world of engineering, this world of the online environment, but also just how to cope with this new environment, because it is going to be a challenge, but with the right help, you can get through. Our second initiative is going to be Meet the Experts. This is a new initiative where we hope to give you an insight into what it is like to be an engineer outside of the degree, after the degree, years from the degree. So each department will have a workshop, let's say, hopefully in collaboration with the department organizations such as IMECI and IEEE, where we invite these experienced engineers to come in and answer your questions, of course, share their experience with you, and also give you an idea of their life outside of engineering, outside of work, because like Deputy Dean said, a lot of them do venture into other career paths. Our third initiative will be the Women in Engineering Forum. This is another annual initiative that we will be conducting, where we, of course, again, invite an experienced female engineer to come and basically give the females in our faculty an idea of what it is like to be a woman in engineering. This year, we will be having a recent graduate of the mechanical department, so that you have an idea of what it is like right after graduating and now having to find a job in this market, as well as a few years down the line. Lastly, last but not least, our Halloween initiative. Normally, we have a party called Shocktober. Of course, given that we are in a pandemic now, we will not be having this party. We will be having a simple Halloween costume competition entitled The Death of STEM. Of course, I will give you more information on these initiatives throughout the next academic year and on our social media pages. Our live sessions. So to keep in touch with you throughout this academic year, we'll be having a number of sessions where we, starting tomorrow, actually on Friday at 7 p.m., we will be having a brief live to answer any questions that you might have, whether it be about registration, financial clearance, the life of an engineering student. On this live, we will have all department representatives, all executive members, and if any question we cannot answer there, we will email you a response. So the lives that we will have, like you see here, are committee check-ins at key points of the semester. Men in Engineering lives, where our the males on our committee would come in and share their experience and basically just have a conversation. The Women in Engineering and Women in STEM life, which we hope to be in collaboration with the Faculty of Science and Technology, as well as the Engineering Monocampus faculty. We will also be having a Diwali live to give the regional students a taste of what it really is like to be in Trinidad, experience the culture. And these are basically our live sessions that we plan on having. We also have engineering merchandise. As you see here, we have an engineering hoodie that is customized per department. This was created in the academic year 2019-2020, and we will hopefully be continuing this initiative once we return to campus. So get vaccinated and let's get this going. We also have engineering polos, just like I have on right now, which is also customized to have a department logo at the back of it. We also provide you with bamboo straws, and fun engineering things. Lastly, these are our social media accounts, which I already see some of you guys are following. We have an Instagram account, like I said, we'll be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. We have a Twitter account, a Facebook page, and I've provided you with my email address where you can email me any kind of concerns you have with respect to the engineering, the guilds, the ESS, anything that we can help you with, feel free to email us. Just understand that we are students as well. So we will, of course, have a time frame where we would respond to you. Lastly, our advice as a committee, we just wanted to give you a few pointers, but honestly, most of the advice shared by the Dean and Deputy Dean is basically aligned with what we are saying here today. The importance of learning and not regurgitating. I can tell you personally, students will tell you in year one, you don't need that in a few years to learn, so just recite it. Don't do that. You have to learn and understand concepts because that is engineering. So the only way you will really get through is if you sit and you learn, you understand. And that is really the key to everything, understanding. Secondly, not all advice is good advice, but this advice is good. Especially advice from your advisors. There are students that will give you advice and it might give you sound advice, but this is based on their personal experience. And this is your experience, your life, your degree that you are reading for. So you have to take what people say with a pinch of salt and basically experience it for yourself, be motivated, you will get through. Thirdly, mental health, which is a very important point in general for engineering students, but of course, given our current status of being online, you will be in classes from 8 to 4 most days, and you have to get up, you have to move, you have to motivate yourself, you have to drink water, you have to exercise, because it will be a challenge and you cannot lose yourself in this time. And so we are here to help you and share our personal experiences. And of course, we have the university counselor who will be here to provide any information to also help you, the students. Lastly, we also have island associations. So the Guild has an international affairs committee, which comprises of a number of island associations for every island, including Trinidad and Tobago. This is specifically for regional students at this moment, but I encourage you to follow this page, UASTA IACC, and ask them information about your prospective island association, given that we could possibly return at some point and you'll basically be able to interact with students from your same faculty that might be from the same island as you. Another bit of advice that I did not have here, but I would share is I would say be humble. You are here, you are all smart, but don't let getting through basically overrun how you are. I don't know how to say it. Be humble. This is not easy and a lot of you will get through, but a lot of people won't. So you have to push each other. You have to work together, but do not plagiarize because that is very important. We are engineers and we work as a team, but we also have to work alone and be able to think for ourselves. So I encourage you to ask for help, ask your lecturers, but understand that you have to be willing to learn as well. Therefore, that is all the advice we can give you today. Once again, feel free to join our lives tomorrow at 7 p.m. and ask any questions. We have many people that have many things to talk about. And feel free to email me and contact us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages. Thank you very much. And over to you, Professor Ekwe.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ms. Chelsea Best, the president of ESS, okay? Engineering Student Society. She has explained to you the role of the Engineering Student Society. She has also mentioned the activities of society. And she has also even advised you on things to purchase. And she has also given you very nice advice, general pieces of advice, that you should learn your concepts, don't cry, okay? You should follow good advice. Some people here will give you good advice, but just follow the good ones, good advice. And take care of your mental health, whatever you do, and then join the relevant associations, okay? So thanks a lot, Ms. Chelsea Best. And now we'll go to the engineering the library representative. Because one thing you will find is that library is something that is very important. Library will guide you in your research. Library will guide you in your studies, so it's very important. So we have invited our engineering librarian, Dr. Simon Primus, okay? So she's here to address us.
Thank you, Dean. And good morning, students. And I'd like to add my voice to the deans in welcoming you to the university. I am here this morning to introduce you to the St. Augustine Campus Libraries and some of its services and resources. So I am your library liaison, as the dean indicated, for the Faculty of Engineering. So I would be your go-to person for your information needs. So on the screen, I have my contact information, and I would urge you to take note of it, because especially during this pandemic time, this is how you would reach me through email. Once we're back on campus, then yes, I would be in office and you can use the phone, but please make a note of my contact information. So on the screen, for those of you who have not had the opportunity to visit the campus and the library, you can see an image of the engineering floor of the library. That's the image that's portrayed there. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit this morning about the library's services and resources, just to sort of give you an introduction. And so the campus libraries really is a network of libraries. We have several libraries across the system, and each of them vary in the services and the borrowing privileges, the opening hours, and so on. But the Alma Jordan Library is the main library, and this is the one that serves the Faculty of Engineering, and where you would be working and resourcing accessing most of your resources that you would need for your research and your assignments and so on, okay? The library itself, to give you a little bit of an overview, although we are closed, but at some point we will be reopening and you will need to come visit us. So it is a four-story building. We do have spaces for individual study as well as group work, and those have been quite popular in the past, where students need to collaborate on their assignments and so on. We offer 2 computer labs with access to Microsoft Office Suite, SPSS statistical software, EndNote, which is a reference management software, and other applications as well. So in the library, when we're open, you would be able to print in color and black and white. You can do photocopying. You'll have access to our online databases, and also during throughout the year, when campus and the library is open, we also have an overnight, or what we call a 24/7 reading room for those students who want to study overnight while the library is closed. It's manned with security, and it's a safe space for students, okay? So in terms of our services, we offer a variety of services for students to help with their instruction, their information needs. So the 2 at the top are 2 of our newer services. So the first one we have there, Ask a Librarian. This is a bank of frequently asked questions that students can access from our website, and I'll show you that in a little bit. As well as, if you don't find the answer to the question you're looking for, you can send an email and you will receive a response, usually within 24 to 48 hours, depending on when the question was asked, right? We have our Lib Chat, which is our live virtual library chat. So you can chat with someone from the library and get answers in real time when you are conducting your research or any other information you may need about the library. And I'll show you where that is as well, how you access that. Of course, we offer research assistance. Like every library, we do offer loans of books, and we started last year. We have a limited supply of tablets that we also loan to students. So you can avail yourself of that service should you need to do so. We offer a document delivery service. And what this is if you are looking for a particular item and you are unable to source it, if we are able to source it electronically, we can email that to you as well. We offer guides on various research topics that you may be looking for on how to do certain things. We provide assistance with citing and referencing. So I've heard several, I think all the speakers this morning talked about being ethical users of information, not plagiarizing. So this is where we come in as well. We teach you how to cite the sources of information that you are using in the appropriate style for your discipline, which would be the Chicago Manual of Style. So we conduct sessions in that as well. While for postgrad students, we help them, we check their theses, ensure that they're formatted in the proper way. And then we do provide instruction, information literacy instruction, to help you learn to access the plethora of resources that are available to you, not only how to find information, but how to use it, how to evaluate it, and incorporate it, and if necessary, even how to present it. So we provide instruction, which can be one-on-one, it can be in a small group. And as first years, a lot of this will come through your lecturers, because several of them would schedule library instruction sections particularly geared to their particular course and the department that you are in, so that you can become familiar with the resources available to you for your particular aspect of engineering. Okay, in terms of resources, oh my goodness, there are so many at your disposal. We have over 500,000 print resources. So that's not just books, but it includes journals, conference papers, maps, a variety of things. And then we also have, and particularly in this pandemic time, we have access, we have subscribed to over 200 electronic databases, which you will want to get familiar with, because this is where you can access your electronic books, your e-journals, all the resources that would be available to you while you are off campus, okay? So we will be showing you how to access those things through our orientation and library instruction sessions that will be coming up. In addition, we have a West Indiana and Special Collections division. So when some of you, when you're looking for local or regional research, this is an area you may want to explore. So the library has a wealth of resources, but of course, your best resource, that would be me, right? So get familiar with me, because I will help you through the maze of all of this information, trying to identify exactly what you need and how to get to it. Okay, so we talked about the library. This is the basic stuff that most people come to the library for. They want to borrow material. Now the library, well, the campus, as you know, is closed. And once we get the okay to resume our service to students, we will be loaning, even though the campus may be closed to students, we do offer an off-site pickup and return service. Okay, you can get additional information about our library loan service. This is whether it's tablets or whether it's print material. You can get information on our website, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And you would send an email to request whatever it is that you need to this particular email, which is our circulation and access services staff. And they would respond and they would give you the relevant information. So even though you may not be allowed on campus, you would still have access to print resources through our offsite the request, pickup and collection and return service, okay? And we do have some of your course material may be held on reserve for you, as well as the other. I know Dr. Griffith Charles talked about reading for a degree. So you want to be reading around your subject, not just what is assigned for your course, and you would want to make use of this service. All right, so this is a snippet of what our website, the top of our website looks like. You want to take note of the URL that's at the bottom of the page where I have that big arrow. This is the library's, this is your gateway to information, okay? Up at the top in the big orange box, you want to check that link out. That's our COVID-19 link that will talk to you about, accessing information during this time of COVID, how to access from off campus, all sorts of things. So you want to check that out. In addition to what I've circled there, the students quick guide to library services and resources in remote mode. That's a little handout that you should find useful. Okay, and then you see the links below that where it says borrowing print material tablet. So if you're interested, you can click that and it will give you the information on how to request those things should you need access to them. Okay, what's missing on this screen is typically on the right, we would usually have a little red tab that says Ask Us, and that's where you would connect with us in our live chat. But my screenshot neglected to include that. Just above the little circle there, you see it says Ask a Librarian, kind of the circle a little bit hiding it. That's where I mentioned earlier, we have a bank of frequently asked questions, or where you can email us. So if you click on the Ask a Librarian link, it will take you to the page where you can get, you can get more information or ask a question, etc. Okay. All righty. And so while I know that semester hasn't started yet, but I'm not sure when I will be seeing you in those information literacy sessions through your courses. So I just wanted to direct you through our website that this is the place where you would be accessing resources while you're off campus, particularly your electronic resources. So you see there under the research tab, the drop down, it says UELink. That's our search platform that you can use to see what is available in a particular topic, as well as the databases and so on. That's where you would be able to access that. Okay, once you are registered in the system, you would be able to access the materials from there. Okay, so, and again, the library's URL, make sure you make a note of that. And so before we go, please note that you want to keep a lookout. The library will be launching a series of videos called Know Your Library. And you'll get information on those videos through marketing and communications, through the library's Facebook page and so on. So you would want to keep a lookout for that. That's to get more information on how to search and use UELink, how to connect from off campus, and a slew of other things. Okay, so just keep a lookout for the Know Your Library video series. And of course, when you want to connect with us, there's more than one way to do so. So I indicated already through the library's website. We have a Facebook page. So there is on the left, there is the link there for the Facebook page. And on the right there, you can see that little Ask Us chat button. So when the chat service is live, you can click on the little chat button and engage with us in real time. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you very much for listening. I do welcome you again, and don't be bashful. We are here to support you. Reach out to us. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Primus. Okay, that's a very nice presentation. Okay, you have explained to our students, of course, they know that already, the need for the library, very important. The role of the library, various libraries we have in the university. Okay, and then you have also explained to them how to access the library at this pandemic period, how to borrow their books, the resources, and you said the most important resource they have is you yourself. It is very good, okay? Because through you, they can get all the materials they have. Please use your library, okay? Very important. Then the last presentation we have today will be from the Division of Student Services and Development, okay? The director is represented by Mr. Gerald Alda, who will give you a presentation on the Division of Student Services and Development, a very important department that takes care of your holistic development as a student. Okay, please, Mr. Alda, please come in.
Thank you, Professor Ekwe, and let me say good morning to all of our valued engineering students. I think we are so quiet today. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Nobody's saying that they're happy to be here. Please let us know that you are excited and honored to be part of the Faculty of Engineering, because we are certainly honored to have you. So this morning I bring you greetings on behalf of the Division of Student Services and Development. I have a quick presentation just to share with you all of the wonderful opportunities that can be made available to you at the UW St. Augustine campus. So Professor Ekwe, as well as Dr. Griffith Charles, would have singled out the importance of holistic development, and at the DSSD, that's what we're all about, all right? So the first thing is you are entering into a learning partnership. As a new student at the UW St. Augustine campus, we consider you entering into a learning partnership, and we consider ourselves your partners, all right? We are your partners in learning, development, and success. We understand that you have a combination of personal and professional goals, and through our offerings, we want to ensure that you achieve these goals. Development, we want to ensure that you are well-rounded. So we know that you are going to all be brilliant engineers very, 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 very soon. And so we want to pay attention to all aspects of you. So we look at the whole you, the total you, all dimensions. And of course, learning, we appreciate that learning takes place in and outside of the classroom. And so we definitely want to create those experiences for you. And so we have a promise. And our promise to you is to support your well-being. University is such a remarkable time in one's life, and you will soon come to understand that. And our promise is to ensure that we support you through your entire life cycle. And in this context, your life cycle would refer from orientation, which is the phase you're in now, all the way up to graduation. So we are not just going to support you in this phase and then that's it. We're going to support you in the good times and the not so good times, because of course, your holistic development and success is important to us. And so I want to introduce you to our 8 departments. We have on screen our 8 departments, all right? Office of the Director, a number of initiatives coming out of this office for your enjoyment. We provide holistic developmental opportunities and programs for you to enjoy. Counseling and psychological services, as the name suggests, counseling and psychological support is made available at the UW St. Augustine campus. And of course, important to mention that these services are confidential and free. Our Guild Administrative Office, we have had quite a number of Guild presidents coming out of the Faculty of Engineering, and some fine Guild presidents, might I add. Student representation is so very important, as Chelsea would have mentioned earlier, and we want you to connect with our Guild Administrative Office to take advantage of the student leadership opportunities that are available. Our student activities, facilities, and commuting students department, once you return to campus, you will engage with a fabulous space that we call the SAC. This is your space where you meet people, you connect, you exhale, you grow, you build community, amongst other things, all right? So very soon, once you return to campus, you will become familiar with this space. Our careers, co-curricular, and community engagement department, you may be already thinking about career advancement, some of the choices you want to make. And so this department helps you to develop professionally, among other things. Our co-curricular program offerings, again, holistic development. You are doing a degree in engineering, and you are so much more than that. And we want to help you to achieve the so much more. All right. So through this department, you are allowed, or not allowed, but what's made available to you would be all of these opportunities that are professional opportunities in volunteerism. It may be student employment that you're interested in. This is the department for you. Our financial advisory services department. Now, we know that engineering students are brilliant. We know that you attain a number of scholarships, a number of scholarships and bursaries, and we want to ensure that you take full advantage of these scholastic opportunities made available to you through the financial advisory services. So do not be shy to apply for scholarships. There are specific scholarships for engineering students, and we want to ensure that you take advantage. Our student accommodation office, be it on or off campus accommodation, this is the office that is going to take care of those needs, all right? Our student life and development department. I apologize for the noise in my background. Bear with me, you know, we're operating in a virtual space, all right? Our student life and development department, you may be a student with a disability or a medical condition. Our regional students, this is the department that takes care of you. Our mature students, and the list goes on. So our very specific subgroups within the student population, our student life and development department takes care of your needs. And so what you're seeing on screen is a summary of all of the support services and opportunities available to you through the SSD. If you have a phone at this time, I invite you to take it out. Just take a snapshot of this particular screen So you have, as ease of reference, just a summary of all of the services that you can benefit from through the DSSD. And so as my presentation winds down, I want to share with you what we want for you from the DSSD. We want you to attain a positive and enriching university experience. We want you to develop holistically. I've been saying that quite a lot because your holistic development is so important to us. We want you to achieve both your personal and professional goals. We know that the faculty will ensure that academically you are grounded and successful. All right, and we want to ensure that your personal and professional goals are achieved. We want you to learn, explore, evolve, and feel empowered to become the best you. And so as I close, I want to share with you very, very quickly some of the top things that I believe are important for you to consider at this point. One, in your first year, you want to meet new people and you want to build a community. Secondly, you want to set first year goals. It's important for you to have a guide and something to work towards. We want you to attain a healthy work-life balance. All right, that's critical. We want you to connect with the guild. Student representation is so important for us at our campus, and we want you to get familiar with the guild as soon as possible. All right, we want you to finally embrace your campus life experience. So there are so many more things for you to attain in your first year of study, but I thought that in the interest of this orientation exercise, these are the 5 things that I wanted to single out. And so as I close our first year students, I want to say thank you so very much for making the UWI St. Augustine campus your choice. The DSSD, we are committed to it, again, ensuring that you succeed holistically. And so on screen, contact information as to how you can connect with us as we go along. All right, so ensure that you connect with us. We are here with all of our offerings and services to ensure that you succeed. And with that, I want to say thank you. I want to say welcome once again to the UWI St. Augustine campus. And at the DSSD, we look forward to connecting with you. Thank you, and back to you, Professor Ekwei.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Alda. Okay, for that very nice explanation, very concise. Okay, explaining to them the various aspects of the student service and division. Okay, sorry, and development division, the counseling, the guild office, the student activities, accommodation, financial activities. What have you? All the services. Okay, so please make use of this division. It's very, very important for, as we mentioned, yeah, holistic development, to make sure that everything goes on well, your health and everything. Because I think that's the end of the formal presentations. We now want to look at the questions and answers.
Would the students have access to the accommodation facilities on campus?
Yes. There are 2 halls that are going to be opened immediately. One of them is the Sahato Louis Hall. It's open for students. They need to apply. If you go online, okay, you'll be able to apply to come in, yes. And then for medical students, there's another, another facility that's also open for students, yes. So 2 facilities are open, 2 halls are open right now, okay, for students.
Yes, and just continuing, would the university be helping the students navigate the COVID-19 requirements that are in place?
That, like what?
Well, I assume do the students need to be vaccinated to get into Trinidad?
Yes.
And
students need to be vaccinated to be able to come into Trinidad, yes, at this time. Okay, so we are aware of what is happening. By the time the Faculty of Engineering meets formally, we're going to examine all these things properly. But what my own advice is that at least even if you can't come in now, you start getting ready to come in, because all the labs and the field work and all that will be done face to face. Can we hear from Justin Bayer, please? Justin?
Okay, my question is, seeing that we weren't really briefed, regional students, that is regional and international students, seeing that we weren't really briefed on coming in and the procedures and hall applications and whatnot, is there any way that we can register for solely online classes for maybe the first semester or maybe the first year even, and schedule our labs and everything for a time, another time, so that we can come in maybe, I don't know, for 1 semester and do everything that we have to do physically?
Okay, as I said, it's something we're going to discuss at the faculty level. because we are still waiting for the campus to give us a formal explanation of what is happening. Okay, but I'm just explaining to you that it is possible, depending on the department, if there are courses you cannot do face-to-face, so you cannot do online if there are labs, like for instance, workshop practice, okay, workshop technology, which first year students will do in mechanical engineering. There's no way you can do that online, okay? So it is something we're going to discuss with the departments fully, okay, to make sure that everything works out well. But as I said, my own advice for foreign students is to try as much as possible to get ready to come into Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? Make sure you are vaccinated and all that. Yeah. Uchenna?
Hi, good day. I'm not sure if this was asked already, but I saw it earlier up in the chat. So as it pertains to the academic advising, would we have to fill out a form to access the service, or is it that we would just be directed to it as a group, like for like a session?
Deputy Dean, could you come in, please?
Is he asking about academic advising? For academic advising, your department will contact you about the date of academic advising for your particular program. I also put a link in the chat. I'll put it in again. If you go on the Faculty of Engineering website, there is a link to the information on when your academic advising for your particular program is, and you can access it there. But they should also send you that information. They will send you that information. And it is for not a general academic advising, but a one specific to your program and your department.
Excuse me, Miss. Good morning. As you said that about the link that you sent, having checked that link multiple times, there's no like information for a meeting with respect to the computer and electrical engineering programs. I was wondering if you could shed any light on that.
Okay, well, if there's no link there already, then the department will contact you, because we have a list of the persons who were offered the program, and the department will contact you. If you don't receive one and you know that you have been offered, perhaps maybe your name fell out of their list, contact the department. Right? You can contact the department, you can contact the administrative assistant for that department, or the head of department, and the information will be provided to you as to the date of your and the link for your academic advising procedure.
Okay, Miss. Thank you.
Okay.
It's Miss Charles, and hello. I have a question. I'm not sure if it had already gone, but will we be having department-specific orientation?
You won't have department-specific orientation. It is the academic advising. Perhaps they may go through some of what we've already covered here as a form of orientation to the department, but it is an introduction to the department. So yes, you can type of departmental orientation. But again, if the link to that session is not already on the website, then the department will update that link and send you the link. And all of the persons who have been offered a particular program in a department should ensure that they keep abreast of the information on when the academic advising session will be held, and ensure that you get your individual academic advising. So you can get it. You will be contacted. If you're not contacted, contact the department and get that information.
Thank you.
Professor Ekwe, Jarrell, Student Services, I am just noticing in the chat that there is not a question, but a comment about being on site. So basically the student is saying that students were told that the program would be online this year and that the advice to be on site is new information. I know that you did express that it's something that has to be discussed at the faculty level. So perhaps some clarification might be needed here. Because I believe that the impression is that the student believes that she needs to be on site come September. So Prof, if you would just want to clarify where we're at. Thank you.
As I said, the faculties will have to decide exactly how they need to operate, okay? But in engineering, we have some courses that cannot run online, okay? Like I said, I've given an example with workshop technology. The students have to be around here to do it. They will also have a field work, okay, and those aspects that cannot be done, what they call it, online, okay. So that's why I'm saying that we have to meet very well as a faculty to decide exactly how to carry this out. But what I'm advising students is that there are some aspects that they cannot do online. So those aspects, they must have to do them face-to-face, okay? But we need to work out the details. By the time we have more directives from the campus authorities first.
Thank you for that, Prof. And I believe there's just one other question that I think the response may be to the benefit of all the students on, and that question is about books and learning materials. I am noting that Mrs. Coburn did respond to the student, but perhaps Prof or maybe Dr. Griffith-Charles, do we want to comment on books and learning materials required? Any information that can be provided to students at this time?
Yeah, the specific information will also be provided by the various departments, okay? So what I'll suggest is that during the academic advising, the students should try and ask those particular questions to the heads of departments, okay? Because from what I have here, the chemical and process engineering, their academic advising will be today by 2 o'clock, okay? 2 to 5, chemical and process engineering. The one for civil engineering will be on the 24th from 10 to 12, okay? Then the one of electrical and computer engineering will be on the 25th from 9:30. Geomatics will be on the 30th by 10 o'clock, okay? For mechanical engineering, it will be 23rd of August, okay? All the 3 programs in mechanical engineering, okay? So, and the petroleum to science, I'm seeing 19th of August. For pre-engineering, it's also 19th of August, which is today, by 1:10.
That I put in the chat that will be rescheduled. So all the pre-engineering students, that will be rescheduled, the academic advising for that program.
Okay. Okay. I'm seeing another student, Jermaine.
Yes, sir. Good morning again. And I'd just like you to differentiate between a non-sponsored student and a sponsored student for me, please, so that I can be sure about which payment plan applies to me.
Just will you be able to give them more information on that?
Sponsor. If you're a sponsored student, it means that your country or some other sponsor will be paying your fees for you.
Okay. Mr. Charles, please. Mr. Charles.
Hi, sorry, I'm sorry to go back to the on in-person online thing, but I have a question. I know this is mainly for first-year undergrads, but first-year master students, would that same thing apply for having to be in Trinidad this semester?
You mean the master students?
For the master students, yeah.
Yeah, master students. Yeah, again, it will depend on the program. Okay, it's some of the programs could be very theoretical, so that all the aspects could be handled theoretically, okay? But then there may be some programs that also require some lab aspects of it, okay? So that is why your program leader or your department head will be the best person to advise you on specific programs, okay?
Okay.
As I said, that will also be the same with the undergraduate programs. Okay, the advice we have so far is that all the labs and all the field work, workshop, all those aspects will be done face to face. Okay, but as I said, now the various departments will work out details and tell you the ones that could be done face to face and the ones that could be done online. But that is the advice we have. That the labs, the workshop, field work, all those aspects which we cannot cover online will be done face to face. Okay? But you're going to be briefed, you're going to be given more information. Start getting ready if you are not already in Trinidad. Okay, the halls have been available to you. You can come in, okay? So make sure you are fully vaccinated because you will be allowed to come into the country. Okay, and this process takes time to continue getting your first dose, second dose, and then another 2 weeks before you come in. So if you haven't started the vaccination process, please try and do that now. That's the advice. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes. Ms. Best, please. President BSS. Please come in.
Thank you, Professor Eckler. I just have a question. Given what the students are saying, the lateness in knowing that they have to return, could the consideration maybe returning for a certain amount of time of the semester be made in that maybe return in October, November for that period and not for the full semester? Because given the pandemic, this is a huge expense to students at this point. You know, so if something like that could be organized so they don't have to spend the entire semester, but just return for labs, I think that might be a better option.
Very good. Yeah, okay. So just give us some time. We're going to meet, I'm going to meet all the heads of departments and deputy deans, okay? And we're going to work out the details. Your suggestion is a very good one, okay? We have our heads of departments here. Would any of them want to say something? Hello, colleagues?
Hello, Dean.
Yes, you want to say something to the students, particularly they're worried about the labs and things like that.
Do I have the floor?
Yeah, please go on, man.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dean. Good morning, students. Good morning, colleagues. I apologize for my late arrival, but apparently I arrived just in time to answer your question. My name is Dr. Michael Sutherland. I am the head of department for the Department of Geomatics, Engineering and Land Management. And as you may imagine from the title, we have a few courses, more than a few courses that have practical components. And we also have to deal with students who are abroad. Now, whatever I'm going to say here is still subject to policy, national policy of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and also of the campus itself. But we have in the past, and we still have the capability now, in order to, one, when we are dealing with the practical components, to convert some of those practical components, what can be converted into completely online things. So we have been able to do some of our labs online, especially in geographic information systems and some other courses completely online. There are some things that we cannot escape doing practical with the physical environment. And in those situations, we have had permissions from the campus principal and security to allow students to come on campus and to do those in smaller groups, as long as they conform to WHO and OSHA rules in terms of social distancing and masks, etc. Smaller groups in order to protect the students themselves and our staff. Depending on what the directive will be, which is why I support the dean and what he said, that very soon we'll be able to give you more details. We are still waiting to hear definitively how we will operate and what will be the permissions. So some things are out of our hands, but once we are allowed to bring people on campus, then we will bring them on campus under control conditions for their safety and for the safety of the staff. Now, for those students who remain abroad, we have over the last year made arrangements with, for instance, in our case, with local professionals who would take our guidance and help us in the exercise of those practical components. So we were able to, at least while our students remained abroad, to be able to complete at least most of our practical components. So with all of those strategies, we rest assured that we have your best interest at heart. And if it has to be delayed, sometimes they were delayed, and later on we had those things brought up to date when we were able legally to deal with certain conditions. So don't worry, you will be looked after in all aspects. The theoretical will be online. A lot of the labs in our intro will be online, and those that are practical will be done either in Trinidad or in country, depending on the circumstances. So we remain agile, but always under the operations and framework of what is the policy of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and the campus. Thank you very much, Steve.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Sutherland. Okay, very nice illuminating speech. Okay. Is there any other department around?
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Bridge. I'm the head of the Department of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. And those students who applied for mechanical with a minor in biosystems and industrial engineering will fall under our department. There are a number of courses that have practical components, many of which we have, as Dr. Sutherland said, we've converted some of those into online formats, simulation type activities. However, there is one course, Workshop Technology, that will require the students to come in for practical experience. We've been putting that practical experience into a block of 7 3-hour sessions. And so we, in our timetabling, we're putting the foreign students towards the end of the semester to account for any of those students who might have difficulties getting into the country. If later on, if we find out that there are situations where students cannot come in, then there's always the opportunity to do that course, the practical component of that course, once the borders are fully open and you're able to come in and access our engineering workshop. So what we've been doing is we're blocking, we're putting the activities, the practical activities into blocks of 7 sessions, and then the students are timetabled at different periods within the semester as a block of students as well. So you shouldn't want, as Dr. Sutherland said, you shouldn't worry too much, where we understand that there are some students who will have difficulty getting into the country because you're not here yet. You might not be vaccinated yet. And we will make provisions for those students. We'll make accommodations for them. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Bridge. Yeah, can we have Dr. Festus Olutoge, please? Civil engineering, civil and environmental.
Thank you very much, sir. I am Dr. Festus Olutoge of the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department, the head of department. In Civil and Environmental Engineering, we are a bit lucky that most or the majority of our labs can actually be, done online, because what we did in the last 2 sessions is that we had demonstrations. The instructors demonstrated the labs and were able to send data to the students, who are able to prepare the normal report, which they would have prepared if they were around. But again, that is not to say that it is not better to have students around to actually participate in these labs themselves. Also, there are some components of our labs which fall under geomatics and land management, which are also very compulsory for the students to participate in. And it is in those that we have actually had problems, just like the head of geomatics informed us. So what we plan to do this semester is to check the labs on a case-by-case basis and see whichever could, be arranged for students when they come back, if they are able to come back to participate, and also see those that we may still have to do as we have been doing during the COVID era. So let me use this opportunity to welcome you to the University of the West Indies, and I'm hoping and praying that you're going to have an enjoyable period during your studies. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Musa. Is the head of clinical around? Dr. Rafiq Hussain, Professor Rafiq Hussain?
Yes, Dean. Thank you very, very much. Good morning to all new students. Welcome to the Faculty of Engineering. And also good morning to all colleagues. I'm head of Department of Chemical Engineering. My name is Rafi Hussain. And for this coming semester, all our classes will be conducted online. We have been able to conduct virtual labs and virtual field trips very successfully, meeting all the required learning outcomes. And we will continue to do so this semester until we are advised further by UWI management for face-to-face meetings. Thank you very much, Dean.
Thanks a lot, Professor. Is Dr. Bahuda still around? Remember, he said he was stepping out. Is there anybody from electrical who could come in? Anybody from electrical engineering? Okay.
Hi, good morning. Dr. Bradley Singh is not in at this moment, but we will be sure to inform the students more about what is going to take place in our academic advising sessions.
Okay, very good. Okay. So electrical and computer engineering, during the academic advising, you get more information. And that is the same for all departments. You will get more information from, during the academic advising, okay? So foreign students, don't be worried. We're going to look after you, okay? Okay, very good. But as I said, also make sure, that you are ready to come in case you are needed, okay? If there are problems like exams and all that, okay? So we need to make sure, okay? Well, we'll give you more information by the time we are guided by the campus and university authorities, okay? And then again, of course, our Trinidad and Tobago government, the protocols and all that, okay? So we'll give you more information as we move around, but you get more information during the departmental advising session, okay? Okay, very good. Any other question? If not, could I say thanks a lot to everyone? Thanks a lot to the deputy deans, to the heads of departments, to the colleagues, to all the students, okay? So colleagues from the Division of Student Services for the excellent work they have done in organizing this. We are very grateful, okay? So our engineering librarian, and to the president of ESS, okay? All those who have made this session very illuminating. We say thanks a lot. And all the students, okay? Everything will be okay. That's what I normally tell students. Okay, this pandemic with time will be okay. Make sure you are vaccinated and all that, okay, and get ready. Everything will be okay, okay? Thanks a lot for coming. And bye, everyone.